Hello happy crocheters, this is Lindsay from windingroadcrochet.com and today I'm going to show you how to make this really pretty ombre blanket with a built-in border. If you like this tutorial, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. For this project we are going to be needing 2 skeins of an ombre red heart super saver yarn, and we are going to need 2 skeins of a solid color yarn that is going to be used for our middle stripes and our border. So I am using this pretty charcoal here. We are going to be making a 38 by 40 inch blanket is what I'll give you instructions for. I am also using a yarn needle and a pair of scissors for weaving in my ends, and I'm using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. This is a size I crochet hook. So to get started, we are going to make a slip knot, and I will be making a small sample blanket, but I will give you the instructions for making a large baby blanket. So all you need to do to start is chain 141 chains. If you want to adjust this blanket size, just make sure to chain an odd number of chains at this point. Once you've completed your chain, which as I said, I am working a smaller sample, then all we are going to do is single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So you can see here we have my first chain, we're going to single crochet into the second chain, and I'm also going to single crochet into the back loop only, to the back bump of the project. And this is because this is going to be my final edging and I want it to look nicer. But if you are a beginner, you are welcome to work into the chain any way you like. When you complete row 1, you should have an even number of stitches. When you reach the end of row 1, we are going to start working the bottom border of our blanket. So we are going to chain 1 and turn, and we are going to single crochet in the back loop only. To do this, you're going to go down the very top center of the stitch and out the back so that you only have one loop over your hook. Yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, create a single crochet. And we're going to do this all the way across. So go down the center and out the back to work under the back loop only and create your single crochet. So you'll single crochet in the back loop only of every stitch across. Once you've completed row 2, now we are going to repeat row 2 until we have a total of 10 rows. So you're going to chain 1 and turn, and simply work single crochets in the back loop only of every stitch across. So here I'm just finishing up my row number 10, and this completes the bottom border section. Now we're going to create the center of our blanket, and I will be pulling from 2 skeins of charcoal yarn for this and 1 skein of the ombre yarn. So I'm going to get that set up and then I'll show you what to do. So we are going to chain 1 and turn, and what we want to do is continue working the border in the first section of our blanket. So we are going to do single crochets in the back loop only of the first 10 stitches. So I'm about to work my 10th stitch, and I am going to stop before the last yarn over. I'm going to grab my ombre yarn. It's coming out of the center of my ombre to make it easy to pull. I'm going to yarn over with that color and complete the single crochet. So that's how we will color change. That's the 10th stitch of this row. To move on, we are going to create the moss stitch. And to do this, we will chain 1, we will skip the next stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in the following stitch, but I am going to continue working in the back loops only. Now we're going to repeat. We're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, and single crochet in the back loop only. And you are going to repeat this all the way across your row until you only have 10 stitches left. Once we reach the last 10 stitches, we are going to change colors. So I'm going to chain 1, skip a stitch. I'm going to make a single crochet, and in this very last single crochet, I'm going to grab my charcoal yarn, and I am going to go ahead and change my colors. And then in the last 10 stitches, just like the first 10 stitches, we're going to single crochet in the back loop only. And I definitely recommend every so many rows counting these last and the first 10 stitches to make sure you're not accidentally going too far or losing count here. So I'm just finishing up those 10 single crochets in the back loop only. So this is what it looks like so far with that center section. And now we are going to work our next row, which will be a nice repeat row for us. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to single crochet in the back loop only of the first 10 stitches. This is what's giving us that built-in border. And then again, when you reach that 10th stitch, this is where we're going to pick up our pink yarn, our ombre yarn, and we're going to change colors. And then just like the last row, we will start with a chain 1. We'll skip a stitch, and this time we'll work our single crochet into the chain 1 space of the previous row. And then just repeat chain 1, skip a stitch, single crochet into that chain 1 space. And again, you'll continue repeating this all the way until you only have 10 stitches left on your row. When you reach those last 10 stitches, remember your last single crochet, you will change over to charcoal. And then you'll simply work a single crochet in the back loop only of the last 10 stitches. And be careful, make sure you get that first stitch, as it does tend to be a little easy to skip. So row 12 is one of our repeat rows. What you will do is repeat row 12 until you have a total of 14 rows that have this ombre middle section to them. So from rows 11 to 24, you'll be working with the ombre yarn. So here you can see I've worked my first 24 rows, and now I'm going to create a charcoal stripe across the middle of this project. This is great because at this point what you can actually do is clip 2 of your yarn ends, and that will give you a chance to untangle them if they become twisted. So what we're going to do is chain 1 and turn. Just like all the other rows, we're going to single crochet in the back loop only of the first 10 stitches. Then when we get to the ombre section, we are going to simply single crochet into the first stitch and then single crochet into the chain 1 space. And we're simply going to repeat that all the way across. Single crochet into a stitch and single crochet into a chain 1 space until we reach the last 10 stitches. So you need to remember that your very last stitch is into a chain 1 space. And then from here, we're simply going to single crochet in the back loop only of the last 10 stitches. So there you have it. Now we are going to work 5 more rows. We're going to chain 1 and turn. We're working another ribbed section like we did at the bottom border. And we're just going to single crochet in the back loop only of every stitch across. And you're going to repeat this for 5 rows. We'll have a total of 6 rows in this stripe, with just that first row being different. So here I have the charcoal stripe completed. You have 10 rows at the bottom, 14 in the middle, and 6 for those individual rows in the center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat rows 11 through 30. So that is the rows with the ombre in it and then the stripe, the charcoal stripe above it. And you're going to continue repeating that until you have a total of 7 of these ombre sections with that stripe right above it. So if you need to jump back in the video and rewatch how to do those rows, definitely go ahead and do it. I'm going to just do one more section on my little sample so you can see what it looks like, and then I'll show you how to finish up the top border. So here you can see that I repeated the rows 11 through 30. Once more, you're going to do this a total of 7 times for the large size baby blanket, or check out the written pattern for what to do for other size blankets. So what we need to do now is we need to make sure that our top border has 10 rows just like our bottom border, and at the moment it only has 6 rows. So very easy, we just need to add 4 more rows. Take your piece, chain 1, turn your work, and then single crochet in the back loop only for this row and another 3 rows. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a total of 10 rows above your last section of ombre. So here I have finished up my little blanket sample. I added those 4 extra rows at the top to make it equal the same as the bottom. So it's 10 rows up, and then on each side you have 10 rows in for your side border and 10 rows at the top. So all I need to do at this point is clip my yarn, use my needle or my hook to pull that through the last loop, and then we're just going to weave in our ends. And really there isn't that many yarn ends that you need to weave in because we carried a lot of it throughout the project. So I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Make sure to check out some of my other video tutorials. I have another blanket with a built-in border that you can check out, as well as a lot of fun, quick and easy projects. As always, thank you so much for watching the video, and let me know in the comments what you like to crochet at this time of year.